Good morning, GibbsCAM users. Today we're going to show you how to drill holes, ream holes, tap holes, a little more efficient on parts that have multiple holes and different configurations, and making sure that you get all the holes drilled and tapped or reamed if that's the case. So as you can see here, we have our round part here. This is about 13 inches in diameter, just as a reference here. So the first thing I want to do, of course, if we go to Operation Sim, you can see we start out as a rectangular or square part. We don't want that, so we want to start with a round part because that's what we're going to be starting with. So I already have a work group called holes. I want to make a new work group, and I'm just going to call that stock. And in this work group here, let's just do a drawing here. Draw a circle. That's 6.5 inch radius. Just one time. And now we have our circle. And in order to, now you can draw a solid if you want, but really don't need to on this simple part. So on the work group, just right click, go to work group info, WG info, and click on part stock, extrude in the Z axis. Now as far as the thickness goes, when you do this, it's going to look at the document control here, and as you can see I have a 1/2 inch there, so this is the thickness it's going to make on our stock. So if I go to Op Sim now, you will see now we start out as a round part. So next I want to, of course, extract the holes. We're going to put that in a separate work group because we don't want to drill this hole here, this large hole here. Of course it would drill in the center, which would be okay, but we just want to focus on the holes. So I'm going to click on holes, make sure face selection is on. I'm going to click on this here and just the face, and click on extract edges, and we'll just put the tolerance at 0 and click on do it. Now just to make sure all these are actually holes and not splines, if you hold the control key down and press the L for label, you should see every one of these should be, let's go to the top view here. Every one of these should have a C in there, and C stands for circle in Gibbs. If it said B in there, that would be a B spline. So all these are nice holes here. All of them are C's. And so this is what we want to start out with. We don't need to sort them yet. Let's just turn Control L off. So now we have all our holes. Let's just put a few dimensions on here just so you can see the different size holes we have here. I think we have actually 5 different holes, so let's just turn on our dimension palette and dimension them. So I believe we have 7 different size holes here, so let's just click on their hole dimension. Let's click on this one first. That's a 3/8. Next one, 1/2 inch. And these are, of course, this is diameter and 1/2 inch diameter. Click the next one. That'll be 1 inch there. Next one, 3/4 of an inch. And I believe we have a 5/62 here. Let's see. That should be, there's 1/2 inch. There's a 5/62. And of course we have another one. We should have a 5/8 one. Let's look for a 5/8. There's one there. And let's see if that's all of them. Here's a 1/4 inch we need here. Okay. And that should be all the holes that we have in this part here. So let's go to my tool menu here. And I already have the tools set up on here already to save a little time here. This first one though is let me bring that up, is a spot drill. So we're going to use that to spot drill all the holes, and then we're going to use, this is kind of a combination spot drill and chamfer tool, and we're going to use the same tool to not only spot these but also come back and interpolate. Turn this off. Interpolate the holes so we have a chamfer on there so they're nice and clean when we're done with this part. So the first thing we want to do is, of course, spot drill all the holes to begin with. So we have a starting point, and we want to sort these in the best order that we can. Let me just turn off my solid there so we just have the holes there. And let me turn off the show dimensions. So we just have holes. So the first thing I want to do, of course, is sort these. And again, if I turn on Control L label, you can see these will come in on your sol model, or if you import a DXF or IGES file, they will come in according to whoever did the drawing. These will be ordered in that way. So not necessarily the best case scenario. So if we were to do the drilling, let's just do a quick drilling here with the spot drill here. And we'll just, since our smallest hole is 1/4 inch, let's just do a 0.2 there for right now. And let's just select all the holes. So Control A, and then let's click on Do It. So we have all the holes here. Now if I was to do the rendering, slow it down a little bit, you're going to see it's going to kind of jump all over a little bit. Not too bad. Not a bad way to do the drilling. So we might leave that, but let's just do a sort on there to see if we can get maybe a little bit better on there. So let's turn off our cam, and we'll leave the circles in there. But what we might want to do is put points in the middle of all these circles there. So when it does the sorting, it's looking at the points and not necessarily the edge of each hole here. So let's put in points on all this. Let's turn Control L off and deselect all the labels there. So then let's bring up our geometry palette, our points there. Let's select everything first, and this button here, basically find the center of each hole there. Click on Do It, and now we have all our points there of each circle there. Now I want to separate the points from the circles there just so it makes sorting a little bit easier. So I'm going to click a new work group, and we'll just call this Points, and go back to the holes. Now I want to go to the Edit menu and click on Select Just Points. So we'll bring up, notice you have the Deselect Special, you have Select Special. What we want to do is we want to grab all the points on this part, not circles, but all the points. So on here, just click on this button that says All Points. Now you can see it grabbed every single point there. We're just going to go to Edit and click on Cut. Go to our Points work group, Edit, and Paste. Now we have all the points in there. If you were to turn on labels, you can see these are all labeled. And Gibbs is going to drill them in the order that they're labeled. So if you did Control A and select them all, it's going to start with number 1. I'm not sure where that is, but it's here somewhere. Number 1, it'll go clear through all the holes there in the order that they were drawn. So let's turn Control L, turn the labels off, and now we want to sort them. So I'm going to go to the Modify menu and down to Sort. Now I have a number of ways on how we want to sort. S pattern, which means it'll go to, say, to the right, left, right, just in an S pattern. You can do it in the X-axis or the Y-axis, depending on what you want to do. And you can give it a start corner, or you can just say closest hole next, and you can see the start corner, X plus and Y plus, so it would be kind of over here. And you can, of course, reverse the pattern if you wanted to. And let's just try S pattern and see what we get. Now I'm going to say the Y scan height. As you can see, the scan right here, this is the Y scan height. I put 1 inch in there. And X maximum gap, I'm going to say 5 inches before it drops down and goes, and goes to the next one going to the left. So let's do that and see how it scans and see what kind of results we get. You can turn labels back on and click on Control A, select all, click on Do It. And now we can see what kind of a sort we have. You can see number 1 is over here, and 2, 3, 4. So we can kind of see what it's doing here. Now if I was to bring up my spot drill again, let's just click on Redo. You can see it's going to drill it in the order that it just sorted out. So not too bad here. We got a little jump right here, but let's try another sort and see if we can get any better than that. So let's just try a scan of y-axis 6 inches, x maximum gap 6 inches, and let's do that. And then let's click on redo. And you can see the toolpath that it's given us. So you can leave this menu open as well as the toolpath, the cam path. So once you click on do it, you can just click on redo so you can see the order in which it did it. So you don't have to close everything and open it back up. So let's do OpSim and see how it looks. And that's not too bad. Let's see what it looks like if we did just closest hole. So click on closest hole, click on do it. You're going to see these numbers change. You can see these all changed. Click on redo. And now you can see the different toolpath there. Not too bad there. Let's run rendering on that. It gets a little outside the path, but this is calculating closest hole. Jumping around a little bit. I don't know if I want to use closest hole. I think maybe I like the previous one. So if I go back to S pattern and just click on do it and click redo again, you can see there's the old toolpath. So I'm going to stay with that one. That looks pretty good. We'll render this again. So now every hole I have center drilled for the next operation for the drill to go in each of the holes. So let's go back to the hole menu. I'm going to turn labels off here. I'm going to click a new area over here in the work group and just zoom up, zoom down so everything disappears. So if I turn labels, not labels, but dimensions back off. So let's first start with the 1/4 inch holes. So drag my 1/4 inch drill down on top of the process. Go to the modify command. Let's go to sort. And before we do that, before we do any sorting, let's choose the 1/4 inch holes by going to edit and full radius. You can see you have a full diameter range as well. So if you want to do certain ranges, you can do that as well. But we're just going to do full radius. So I'm going to type in 0.125 and select. And you can see the holes it selected. Now if we want to see what it's going to drill, let's just move some of these out of the way here. Let's just click on do it, and you can see the pattern it chose here. This is just closest hole, so you can click on do it and then redo if you like, just to see what it did. So if you don't like that pattern, you can do S pattern or closest hole next. So it depends on how it was drawn, the order it's going to drill it in. This looks actually pretty good, so we're going to leave that the same. So the next tool we want to do is the 3/8 tool. Let's drag that down. Make sure we're getting through our plate there. So I'm going to do minus 0.550. Okay, so this will be the tool number 3, which is the 3/8 drill, so 0.1875. And make sure you deselect so you don't re-drill the holes you've already done, the 1/4 inch. So let's click select. And let's just see what the 3/8 is going to look like. So let's just click on do it. And I like that pattern. That looks pretty good. Closest hole next. So that looks pretty good. So I'm going to leave that. So the next tool we want to do is tool number 4, which is the 1/2 inch drill. Let's drag that down. Make sure we're through our part, so minus 0.550. And tell Gibbs to select all 1/4 inch radius holes. Make sure you deselect in space, click select. And there's all the 1/2 inch holes. Let's just click on do it. we have the correct tool, click on do it, and that is not too bad. I kind of like that pattern, so we'll stay there. And the next tool is going to be the 562. Again, let's make sure the full diameter is through our part, so minus 0.550 again. And this time we're going to type in 0.562 divided by 2. Click and space, deselect everything, click select. And let's just click on do it to see where we're at. And I would say that's not too bad of sorting there. Closest hole looks pretty good. We'll stay there. So the next tool is going to be the 5/8 tool. Let's drag that down. Make sure we're through our part, so minus 0.550. And that's tool number 6, so that's 5/8, so 0.625 divided by 2, so 312. Click and space, click select. Let's just click do it just to see what it looks like. That actually looks pretty good as well, so I'm going to leave that. Next tool is the 3/4 inch. Again, minus 0.550. That's the tool number 7, which is the 3/4, so this needs to be 0.375. Click and space, click select. And let's click on do it and see what it looks like. Not too bad. I'm going to try the closest hole next. Click on do it, see if that reorders them, and then click on redo. That's not too bad either. That's closest hole. I might try, let's just try the S pattern just to see what it looks like. So click on do it. That's going to reorder them. Then click on redo. That's not too bad either, really. They're pretty close, so it's not going to make not much difference on this small a part. If it was a part that was like 5 feet in diameter, then you'd want to do the sorting a little bit closer so you don't have so much travel on the X and Y axis, but that's not too bad really. So let's go down to the 1 inch, drag that down. Make sure we're through our part. Minus 0.550. And down here, instead of 3/8, 0.5. Click and space, click select. That's all the 1 inch holes. Let's click on do it, see what those look like. Not too bad. I think I'll keep it like that. And now let's do some rendering before we chamfer all the holes. Turn off our dimensions. And let's go to our op sim and take a look at what we've done. So I'm going to rewind everything. Let's just zoom that up just a bit and then play it. Now before you hit play, I'm going to turn on the color menu. I like to have each tool its own color so I can see if I miss something or to see which tool is actually cutting. So these will be all color coded now, as you can see down here. So let's rewind and play. There's our spot drill. Then of course the next tool is going to be the 1/4 inch drill. Slow it down a little bit. 1/4 inch, 3/8, 1/2 inch, 5/62, 5/8, 3/4, and then the 1 inch. So I believe that has every hole done in there. Looks pretty good. Now we want to, of course, chamfer each hole to deburr it. So again, we're going to use tool number 1, which is our combo spot drill and chamfer tool. So we want to now chamfer everything. Let's just choose an empty spot over here on the operations menu. So normally in Gibbs, when you use a contour and interpolate something, if you choose more than one piece of geometry, let's say I just chose a couple of those like that, Gibbs would go down right the center of each geometry. So we don't want to do that. We want it to always cut on the inside of these holes on here. So let's clear this out first. Let's just bring up a simple contour. with our tool number 1, which is our 1/2" combo spot drill. And I want to go down 30 thou down inside each hole. And I'm going to say the plus or minus stock, I'm going to put a minus in there. So what that's going to do is force the tool in the negative direction, so it's going to cut a little bit bigger in that hole by 10 thou, and that's the amount I want to chamfer each hole there. So what you need to do though, otherwise if I selected each of the holes here all at once, did like a Control A, and just click do it, it's going to cut down right on top of the tip of the tool, be right on the line, so that is not what we want. It won't look very good. So if you look at these tabs up here, you'll see one that says offset. Now normally this is offset on center line there. That's the normal default in Gibbs for cutting all like contours, things like that. But we want to change some things around here. So I'm going to click on the button that says offset. Now you have a choice, close shapes, alternate, things like that. But there's the one I'm looking at is cut inside. You can see cut outside. If I did cut outside, it would cut the holes on the outside of each one of these holes here. We want to do the inside. So I want to have it to do the inside there. You can give it a direction, climb or conventional, but we want to cut the inside. Everything else is here is good. Of course, you put in your feeds and speeds, things like that is normally what you do. But now you just do Control A, select all, and we can do it. And now we have all the holes done. It's a little scattered. Let's maybe sort that. I don't know if I like that pattern, so let's do some sorting on that and see if we get a better pattern on there. So I'm going to turn off my cam for the moment. Go to Modify, and we'll do the sort. And I might want to do, I don't know if I want to do an S pattern or a closest hole. I might just try closest hole. So they're all selected already, so I'm going to click on Do It. Let's open up our cam palette, and let's click on, this is the last operation, so let's click on Redo, see what that looks like. That looks a lot better. It looks like it cleaned it up quite a bit. So now let's go to Isometric View, turn everything off here, and Render. We'll have it stop at the last operation so we can kind of slow that down a little bit. So let's go to Op Sim and rewind. Let's click on the little hand that kind of looks like a stop sign. Click this button here. It says stop before operation. This is operation 9. So I'm going to type in 9 there. Or you can do the drop down menu as well. Click OK. And again, we'll rewind that and click on play. We'll fast forward it a little bit there. Let it finish out. Okay, now we're ready to do the chamfer, so let's slow everything down and take a look at that. And play. And of course it's doing it closest hole. Unless you change the sort parameters, then you can have it do whatever you'd like. Unless you want to do certain holes, a different chamfer, you could do that as well by sorting the holes again and going through just like we did before. But maybe you want a bigger chamfer on some holes and some you don't. But real easy to choose what you'd like to do. Here I just want to deburr everything by 10 thousandths. And so that's why it's going through and doing every single hole with the 10 thousandths chamfer deburr. And there you have it. Nice deburred holes. Easy to sort those out. One thing to note on the last operation here that I forgot to show you. On the offset, of course, we're choosing inside. Make sure you uncheck this alternate side for nested shapes. So if you have a nested shape, it might want to do inside for one, outside for the other, inside for one. So make sure you uncheck this if you want this to contour all on the inside like that. But again, that's how you do sorting holes. And of course you can do the same thing if you had different size taps. You just want to choose different holes for taps or reaming or anything you want, and this works very well. So hopefully this video helps you do a better job in sorting holes and finishing holes, and thanks for watching.